Hello. So I am just uploading this quick video to announce the winners of the It's a Trap contest. It was so difficult for me. Really hard, because I honestly loved all of the houses so much, and I really wish that everybody could win. I would send everybody first prize if I could, because people have just created such amazing things. So even though it's exciting to announce the winners, I also feel kind of sad about it, because I do wish that everybody could win. All of your houses were brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and it was really difficult for me to decide. So third place we have Sorry's. Sorry's created this absolutely incredible horse sculpture and a really great area around it as well. It was absolutely fantastic. I was confused at first as to what it was supposed to be. I was still getting over the flu, I still am actually, and my head wasn't really working that well. I do know what the Trojan horse is, but at the time I was like, just couldn't figure out what this was. But then I figured out what it was because I had help from Jack, and it's just amazing. That whole sculpture is so incredible. Like, that must have taken her so much work to put that together, and it just looks amazing. You know that's a horse, there's no two ways about it, and it doesn't look like it's made out of crates. It looks like a wooden horse. The way there's like a war scene around it as well, the whole thing is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, Sorry's is in third place with her Trojan horse. So second place goes to Wednesday Morning at Cold Harbour Surreal Estate. I absolutely adored this house. It was fantastic. So I really liked the beginning area where you come in and it's like a proper DJ realm. You feel like you're at somewhere in Cold Harbour when you first go in. And then if we fast forward a little bit here, you come to this house and it's just so creepy. I actually felt a little scared whilst I was walking around it. Yeah, the whole house, the further you go in, the better and better it becomes, until it's just the most fantastic thing. Like, the further you go, the more you find, and it just becomes more and more epic and more scary. So at first it's kind of creepy, we're like walking through Cold Harbour, then you come here and it's kind of, yeah, this is a very creepy house. Lots of creepy stuff going on in here. And then, when you're brave enough to go down into the basement, I can find it. When you're brave enough to go down into the creepy basement, there is an actual gateway to hell down here. Like, it's really getting more and more creepy until it's kind of horrifying right now. Like, there's a gateway to hell. And then you go into the gateway to hell, and it's just incredible. You fall all the way down, which I think I'm going to now, yeah, and it's just amazing. And then it's like you've actually fallen down into this like cage, and you'd feel terrified, like you don't know what's going to happen, what's going on. It's amazing, the amount of detail and the amount of atmosphere and suspense in this house is great, and I really enjoyed visiting it. Okay, and first place it goes to Hachiko-chan. If you've watched the video, you've seen this house, and both the trap element and the aesthetic element were 10 out of 10 for me. I thought this was an absolutely amazing house. Let's fast forward to it a little bit. So the building itself was incredible, as expected by Hachiko. This is great, but then you go inside and the traps were amazing. So much atmosphere in this house as well. You feel like you're in another game almost. To me, I felt like I was in a movie. this part where she's made lava out of the leaves. I was so impressed by that. It just looked awesome. Really, really great. And then she had like the little jumping puzzle here to get over to the other side. She actually did have a trap to fall through over here when you try to get to the treasure, but it wasn't a deadly trap. Have a quick look. You've probably already seen this, but yeah. And then it leads back up here to the top. Yeah, and then it leads out to this boat, so you feel like, yeah, you've got out with the treasure. It's really great. I just loved it so much, and she 100% deserved to win in my opinion. So yeah, number 1 goes to Hachiko-chan. Even though those are the winners and I didn't plan to do this, there are 6 people that I'm going to be sending 300 crowns to as a consolation prize, because I feel like they went above and beyond with this so much. The first person is Trey HD, and his maze here, which is astonishing. He has all of these little traps and ways to get back up to the top, and it's just so intricate. I can't even think of how long this took him to put together. It's got 8 levels, I think he said, as well, and it literally took me an hour, a whole hour, to finally get to the top, and that was only because I'd been going through this maze for like so long, and then I became trapped. I didn't die. I think I was supposed to die, but I actually didn't die. But oh my god, yeah, I was like walking around it for like 40-50 minutes, and then that happened. So then I had to call him to come and help me out, and so he took me round to the top of the building. But yeah, I spent an hour in this house. Like, that's how intricate his maze is. And if you want to drive yourself absolutely insane, then I really recommend visiting it and seeing if you can get to the top without any help, because I didn't quite do it. Maybe if I'd have more time, but I didn't. Jack the Great, your story and your whole build was fantastic. Let me just fast forward a little bit. So this whole place was incredible. I mean, look at it. The amount of work he's put into building this whole structure. It looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And there are several buildings out here, and he's used his item limit so well to be able to fit in all of these buildings. It just looks really incredible, and I know that he's put in a lot of effort and time into this. So that's why Jack is also going to be receiving a consolation prize. And he also helped me out with Sorry's house to figure out what it meant, which was very kind of him. I've also chosen Queckweg as somebody to receive a consolation prize because, again, I was so impressed by this house, honestly. He deserves a medal for this. He does. So he has created probably the most intricate trap of anybody else that entered the whole contest, I think. It was like playing another game, and trying to figure out his house was so much fun. Fast forward a little bit. So yeah, every little part took me so long to figure out what I was doing. And yeah, the way he's made it so interactive. It's so interactive, this whole house really is. I guess if you didn't know the story behind it that he sent, you probably wouldn't make it at all. Because yeah, it was just very tricky. But I absolutely loved it. And I also really liked his, we can get to it, his mad scientist lab there. I think it looks really cool. Really liked that. Silverwind, I adored your house so much. I didn't quite know what was happening, but that made it even more fun for me because the whole time I was trying to figure out in my head, what is the story behind this? I had several ideas, as you probably know if you've seen the video. I was just constantly trying to figure out the story behind this house. It was great. The whole place felt so much like you were lost in a jungle, which I think is what he was going for. The trap itself was great, and you really felt uncomfortable when you went down there because it was really eerie and you didn't know what was going on. And then there was that man standing up on the mountain there, just looking incredibly scary. And it was just great. I really loved it. So Silverwind will also receive a consolation prize, 300 crowns, for his awesome house. Can't fix it. I really loved this house. It was, again, like a maze, and again I was trying to figure it out, but I loved how your maze was so interesting. Let's fast forward it a little. You can have a look. There was something to see wherever you went. Wherever you went, there was something to see. So being lost in your maze was actually very interesting and fun because there were just these little details everywhere and funny little things to see. It actually made me laugh some of it. It was great. I really, really enjoyed visiting this so much. It was really, really great. I just so much enjoyed it. Yeah, there was just so much to see here. And you can tell that you put in a lot of effort into this house. So yeah, she'll receive a constellation prize as well. The final constellation prize goes to Jemima, and the reason for that is because this house is by far probably my most favourite house that I've ever visited in the game. I loved it. Do you know what? When I was judging this, I was trying so hard to go with my head and think, I need to choose winners based on the criteria, not just because they're my favourites, because this house was honestly, it completely blew me away, and it quite possibly is my most favourite house in the game, as I said. I mean, look at it. It is incredible. Not just the house, but the way that the house is set there, with the dragons flying around and the gargoyles and the trees, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I really, really, really love this house so much. Let's fast forward a little bit. I was a bit scared going in there because of all the rugs. I had a bad time with rugs that night. It was fabulous, really amazing. I was so blown away by it. Just a really awesome castle, and it was such a pleasure to see it. I just loved it so much. So, I feel like the other houses also need a mention because, as I said, they were all absolutely incredible, beautiful, and I'll be sending a little gift to everybody that entered, just something small to show my appreciation. So Dragon Slayer Doverkin, your house was the first one I visited, and I loved it so much. I think what I really loved about it was how different it was. I wasn't getting trapped, it was looking at other people who had got trapped, which was a very different idea. I absolutely loved that mechanism there with the swinging knives, and how they weren't moving because it had been jammed with a knife, which took me a little while to figure out, but I got there. And it was just so funny as well, like all of these skeletons like pinned to walls and on spikes. It was so great, it was so detailed, and I really did love it. It was an absolutely awesome house and such a great idea. Blight Spirit 1962. Your house also was incredible, really wonderful. All of these smoke effects here that you had at your entrance right there. I did actually accidentally leave your house at one point. Um, yeah, all of this smoke effect you had here just brought so much atmosphere into your house. I really loved how you did your green smoke here as well. It was fantastic. Really wonderful. Up here, your spider was great. I was enamored by it, how it kept going up and down, running around up there in the ceiling somewhere. It was great. I really enjoyed that spider right there. I'm just going to watch him go up. Yeah, that was brilliant. I loved that. I loved figuring out your little note when it came to your house. That was great. Just trying to like figure out where the switch was. I was constantly referring to it to try and figure out what I was doing. It wasn't actually until I watched back that I noticed the candle at the end being a different colour, which I did actually write on the thing. I didn't notice the candle being a different colour until I watched back, and then I was like, that candle's a different colour. She said to look for a subtle difference. So I literally went back to the house then when I noticed that the next day and had a look to make sure I hadn't missed anything important. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Really, really wonderful job, Blind Spirit. Hey Laura, your house was brilliant. I think the thing I loved the most about your house was the contrast. Let me just have a little look. The contrast here. So your house was beautiful. Like, you're in this beautiful magical garden looking for the font of Oriel, and it was all just so serene and pretty. I didn't actually think there was going to be a proper trap in this house, if I'm being honest. I thought, yeah, this person's made this beautiful, lovely place here. Maybe there's going to be a little trap somewhere. I even said at some point, like, because there was treasure, I was like, yeah, I don't think this is the kind of place where people are going to die because it's just too beautiful. And then I carried on. I found the font of Oriel over there, and I was like, oh, I loved that thieves' trove you made as well. That was great. I was quite taken with that. Yeah, so we saw the font of Oriel. We went over to it. I was like, yeah, there's the font of Oriel. Maybe I'm going to fall down into something at the font of Oriel. But I didn't expect anything dark. And then, yeah, I fell down here. There were like skeletons coming out of spider eggs and creepy crawlies all over the place. And it was proper dark and like creepy down here. And it was just completely unexpected. The contrast between up there and down here was just amazing. But it was still beautiful down here. I actually used this as a thumbnail, this house, because there was a view down here of the statue and everything, and it was beautiful. I found this place to be really, really beautiful, even down here where it was darker. It just looked fantastic and really, really natural. Yes, that view here, just loved it. I thought that was brilliant. So yeah, wonderful job. So Tim, his house was also great. I really loved how he uses his house, not only as a base to keep all of his crafting stations and things, and his achievement stuff, but he's got some really creative little details in here as well. You can find it around here somewhere. So he has this little, like, I guess it's a strip club at the back here. And he's made these like funny little people back here that I thought were really creative. They are super creative. I really enjoyed those a lot. They looked great. They were really creepy, but they were pretty amazing. Thought they were great. The trap didn't actually kill me straight away, but I was pretty confused by it. So I went back to have a look at it, and that is when it killed me. But yeah, I liked that everywhere you went in this house, there was something to see. There was something interesting around every little corner. And there were all of these funny little details that you wouldn't expect to see. That, yeah, they were great. Really enjoyed the house. Thank you, Tim. So Nuansist created this mountain here. And it had like a little hole in it. Wait, there you go. And it led down this like well type structure to this. It was absolutely beautiful. The whole view here was amazing. Really loved it. The use of the nebulas and everything. Really fantastic. And there were all of these little hidden spaces everywhere. And I was told actually that I missed an area. So I'm going to have to go back and find that. There was apparently another room that I missed. Some stairs going down. Which, yeah, I missed. I don't quite know where they are, but I'm going to have to go back and find them now because I feel really bad that I missed them. And I'm sure it's gorgeous down there as well because this is just fantastic. I just adore it. It killed me a fair few times, but it was amazing. Really, really enjoyed this house very much. It was just beautiful wherever you went. Lilith's house was so personal for her, and that made it so special. It was so symbolic. Let me forward it a bit. It was so symbolic. So she had all the different stages that you go through when you're experiencing anxiety, and the way that she's used furnishings in ESO to depict emotion I thought was so clever. I really liked that a lot. She built this huge giant head which was quite funny and cool. I liked that. And then you just keep going up this tower and you come to all of these really interesting little areas that depict a certain thing, and the symbolism is just really wonderful. The whole house is wonderful. It was really fun and interesting to visit, and I really enjoyed it a lot. So thank you very much, Lilith. Contender, your house was great. It was so cozy. It just felt so nice and warm. You had the really cool details as well, like the dragon guarding the treasure. It just felt really homely and nice in your house. And the trap, I can find it when possible. I love these little details as well. Like you had a little mermaid out there in the water, which I thought was a really cool detail. I loved that. And then we found the trap. And it was like a giant mouse trap with wine and cheese luring people into it, which I thought was so great. It was so funny, and what an original and unique idea it was as well. So I really very much enjoyed that. It really did make me laugh. And the house itself was also just so homely and cozy and great. So thank you very much, Contender. And last but in no means least, we have Azalea Stone. Her house kind of shocked me a little bit, but in a good way, It was like it had this shockingly dark undertones to it, so it looks so pretty and nice, but there is something so dark and sinister happening here to do with like really hurting animals, I think. So like there's a trap here for a poor boar to get stuck in. There was something, just very dark about this place. We had a shrine to Sithis there. I think what I found the most disturbing in this house was the poor Indrik in the cage there, with all of the torture tools around him. It was very disturbing. There. It was pretty awful. But it was great as well. It's really great when a house makes you feel emotion, like when it makes you feel a bit kind of creeped out and uneasy. I think that's a hard thing to achieve, and she is, or he, they, they have done a great job at that. Definitely, they've done a brilliant job at that. Um, yeah, and the house itself was so creative as well. I love the use of this circular platform up here for the bedroom. Really great. The light shade, yes, I was taken aback by that light shade. It was really cool. They've made a huge, big light ceiling light up there, which I thought was pretty awesome. And the trap itself, um, down here, I thought that your use of the spikes was great because they look different to the other spikes that I've seen people use, and I liked that a lot. So yeah, that's all of the entries. I really, really enjoyed the house tour. I had so much fun visiting all of your homes. Um, it was just such a pleasure, yeah. I'll be sending out prizes tomorrow. As I've said, the people who I'm sending a consolation prize to: Trey HD, Jack, Quekweg, Silvervind, Can't Fix It, and Jemima. If you could all just send me a quick message somehow to let me know what you would like me to send you for 300 crowns. I know it's not many, but you could get a couple of little bits for your house with 300 crowns. I just wanted to send you something because I felt like you all kind of went above and beyond. There was something special about each of your homes that I really, really loved. And all of you were in the running when it came to winners. And I was trying to decide. So, yeah, I just wanted to show my appreciation in some way. But as said, I wanted to show my appreciation to everybody because I loved every single house. Not one of them, there wasn't one of them that I didn't have so much fun in and enjoy visiting. I loved them all. So yeah, I'll be sending a small gift to everybody else as well. It won't be anything epic, I'm afraid. But I will send you a little something to say thank you very much for entering. And I just really loved your house. So yeah, thank you ever so much again to everybody who entered. It was so much fun. And yeah, hope to see you again soon for another contest. Goodbye.